Hello everyone. Today we will talk about the anatomy of kidney. And anatomy of kidney we will study under the following heads. That is location, then shape, then measurement, various capsules of kidney, various capsules covering the kidney, blood supply, nerve supply, lymphatic drainage, external features, etc. Okay. Now coming to the location of the kidney. Okay. As we have studied in previous classes, kidney is a retroperitoneal organ located on posterior abdominal wall. Kidney is a retroperitoneal organ. It is located on posterior abdominal wall and the level of kidney is from 12th thoracic vertebra to 3rd lumbar vertebra. Okay. Now this retroperitoneal means on posterior side. Now the right kidney and left kidney, they are not at the same level. Right kidney is slightly lower in position than left kidney because of presence of liver on the right side. Okay, this is about the location. Now coming to the shape of the kidney is bean shaped. Shape of kidney is bean shaped. Now the measurement of kidney is 11 by 6 by 3 centimeter. 11 by 6 by 3 centimeter. But the left kidney is slightly longer. Left kidney is slightly longer or narrower. This is about measurement. Now coming to the weight of the kidney. The kidney measures 150 gram in male and 135 gram in female. 150 gram in male and 135 gram in female. What are the major functions of the kidney? The major function of the kidney is to remove the waste matter, that is excretory products from the body, and to maintain the balance between the water and electrolyte, thus maintaining the internal environment constant, and that process is known as homeostasis. The maintenance of internal environment constant is known as homeostasis. The main function of the kidney is homeostasis by removing excretory product and maintaining the water and electrolyte balance in the body. Okay. Now we have studied location, shape of the kidney, bean shaped, then bean shaped. Measurement we have studied. Okay. Now before studying capsule, we will study the external features of the kidney. And in external features of the kidney, we have two poles, two borders, two surfaces, and hilum. Two borders, in external features we have two poles, two borders, two surfaces, and hilum. Now two poles, that is upper pole and lower pole. Two surfaces, anterior surface and posterior surface. Two borders, medial border, and this is lateral border, and this is hilum. Okay. Now this is about the external features of the kidney. Now we will study the capsules or coverings of kidney. If this is kidney, okay, I'm going to write here kidney. This is kidney. This one is renal capsule. Renal capsule, and here it is this is paranephric fat. Paranephric fat. Paranephric fat, and this outer covering is known as renal fascia. This outer covering is known as renal fascia. Okay, this is adrenal gland. This is adrenal gland, and this is this one is diaphragmatic fascia. Diaphragmatic fascia. Okay, this is diaphragm, this is diaphragmatic fascia. Now this renal capsule is also known as true capsule, and this renal fascia is also known as fascia gyrota or false capsule. Fascia gyrota or false capsule. Now this renal fascia or fascia gyrota, it covers the kidney and suprarenal gland, and it blends with diaphragmatic fascia. This renal fascia, it covers the kidney and suprarenal gland, and it blends with diaphragmatic fascia. This fascia gyrota is the anterior layer and posterior layer, and the anterior layer of fascia gyrota is known as fascia of Told, and the posterior layer is known as fascia of Zuckerkandl. Fascia of Zuckerkandl. Fascia of Zuckerkandl. Now this two fascias, that is fascia of Told and fascia of Zuckerkandl, they laterally blends with fascia transversalis. They laterally blends with fascia transversalis and laterally blend with fascia transversalis, and medially laterally blends with fascia transversalis, posteriorly blends with fascia over psoas major and quadratus lumborum, and medially it passes behind the kidney. It passes behind the kidney in front of celiac trunk. It passes behind the kidney in front of celiac trunk. This is about the fascia gyrota or renal fascia or false capsule. Now we will discuss about the relations of the kidney. And in relations of the kidney, we have anterior relations and posterior relations. Anterior and posterior relations. Anterior relations of both right and left kidney, they are not same because we have different viscera on left and right side. That's why anterior relations are not same, while the posterior relations are same. Okay. Now the anterior relations of right kidney and left kidney. Right kidney, left kidney. I will draw here right kidney. This is right kidney. Okay, now this area is known as adrenal gland, area related to adrenal gland. Okay, then this is hepatic area, hepatic area. Then this one is colic area, colic area or left colic flexure, and this is known as jejunal area, which is related to coils of jejunum, and this one is known as duodenal area, which is related to second part of the duodenum, These are the anterior relations of right kidney. Out of this, only hepatic and jejunal areas, they are covered by peritoneum. This is left kidney. We have area related to suprarenal gland. This is area related to adrenal gland. Then this is upper part is related to this area is gastric area. Now lateral border of upper part is also related to spleen, therefore this is splenic area. Then this one is gastric area. Now the hilum of kidney continues with the body of pancreas, therefore this is pancreatic area. And like this is colic area, and this one is jejunal area. Related to coils of jejunum. Okay, out of this only jejunal area, splenic area and gastric area, they are covered by peritoneum. Jejunal area, splenic area and gastric area, they are covered by peritoneum. Now we will discuss about the posterior relations of kidneys, and posterior relations of both kidneys are same. Okay, this is right kidney and this one is left kidney. Okay, these are the blood vessels entering the kidney. Posterior relations of kidney, we have 4 muscles and 3 nerves. Posterior relations of kidney, we have 4 muscles and 3 nerves. Which are they? First, second, third, fourth. Okay, same on right side also. First, second, third, fourth. Okay, this is diaphragm, then psoas major, quadratus lumborum and transversus abdominis. Okay, these are the 4 muscles, and 3 nerves are subcostal nerve, ilio-hypogastric nerve and ilio-inguinal nerve. Subcostal nerve iliohypogastric nerve, iliohypogastric nerve, and ilioinguinal nerve, iliohypogastric nerve, ilioinguinal nerve. Root value of subcostal nerve T12, iliohypogastric L1, and ilioinguinal L2. Ilioinguinal nerve is L2. These are the posterior relations of the kidney. Now we will discuss about the blood supply of kidney, and the blood supply of kidney is by renal artery. The blood supply of kidney is by renal artery, which divides into anterior and posterior segmental arteries. Anterior and posterior segmental artery. This anterior segmental artery again divides into superior, inferior, antero superior, and antero inferior. Anterior, superior, inferior, antero superior, and antero inferior, and posterior segmental artery continues as itself. Therefore, we have total 5 segmental arteries. Now I will show you these branches by a diagram. If this is the anterior part, okay, superior, antero superior, antero inferior. This is superior, antero superior, antero inferior, and this is inferior. This is anterior part. Now, in case of posterior, this is posterior. On posterior side, we have only posterior segmental artery. This is superior part, this is inferior part, and this is posterior segmental. This is superior, this is inferior, okay, and this thing you have to remember. This is a vascular line that is present between anterior and posterior segmental arteries. Anterior and posterior segmental artery. This line is known as Brodal's line. This line is known as Brodal's line, and this line is very important via clinical point of view, because if a patient is having calculi, renal calculi, then we have to remove the calculi, and for that we have to open the kidney, and with the help of this line, Brodal's line, we can do that, okay. Therefore, this Brodal's line is important via clinical point of view. This is about the blood supply of the kidney. Now coming to the lymphatic drainage. In lymphatic drainage, the lymph from the kidney drains via para-aortic lymph node. Para-aortic lymph nodes. Okay. Now this is about lymphatic drainage. Now supply. Kidneys are supplied by renal plexus. Kidneys are supplied by renal plexus, and renal plexus, that means both sympathetic and parasympathetic. One more point you need to know is renal angle. Renal angle. This renal angle is present in lower border of T12 and lateral border of erector spinae or sacrospinalis. Lateral border of erector spinae or sacrospinalis, and in that angle kidney lies. This renal angle is occupied by the kidney. This is about the kidneys. Now we will discuss a very short topic that is known as adrenal or suprarenal gland. And in adrenal gland we have right and left suprarenal gland. Right and left suprarenal gland. This right suprarenal gland is pyramidal shaped. This right suprarenal gland is pyramidal shaped and left is crescentic or semi-lunar shaped. Crescentic or semi-lunar shaped. Now this about adrenal gland, you have to remember only blood supply and venous drainage. Okay, blood supply and venous drainage. Blood supply of adrenal gland is by superior, middle and inferior suprarenal arteries. Superior, middle and inferior suprarenal artery. This superior suprarenal artery is a branch of inferior phrenic artery. Middle suprarenal artery is a direct branch of abdominal aorta, and this inferior suprarenal artery is a branch of renal artery. The branch of renal artery. This is about the arterial supply. Now, venous drainage. The right suprarenal gland drains into inferior vena cava, and left suprarenal gland it drains into left renal vein. Okay, right suprarenal gland drains into inferior vena cava and left into left renal vein. Okay, and the nerve supply is same as that of the kidney, that is by renal plexus, consisting of both sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves.